Hey everyone, it's me, Alex, once again. And today, unfortunately, I have to make this video because it's the end of an era for a lot of us gamers that grew up in our teen years, or just in general from the years 2011 to now. Because, unfortunately, Nintendo has decided to shut down the eShop for the 3DS and Wii U. Now, it's not like, oh my god, it's the world's gonna end kind of thing. We're not Scott the Woz in this. Don't worry. I hope. But anyway, so yes, the eShops have been shut down. And what's weird is the Wii U one, from what I've been seeing from people, you can only get to it to a certain point where it just says error. But on the 3DS one, you can go to it, but you can't buy Jack. You can see what they have that you could go buy physically, but you cannot buy anything. And I made some minute purchases last night before the day, because this might go up later. So the night before, I got like 2 games or whatever for the GBC. They were like very weird games, but I was like, whatever. I enjoyed what I was playing so far, so yeah. So unfortunately, yes, they have been shut down. And I just kind of want to talk about some of my memories with just the eShop in general. And this is going to be very off script. I had pretty much no script at all. I'm just going to be talking about things. But first, I want to talk about some of the problems I have with this shutdown. You see, when Sony tried to do it with the PS3 and Vita, they backtracked on it because of all the backlash. And I thought, okay, that's great. Maybe Nintendo could do the same thing. But no, they decided not to. They decided to just go to the beat of their own drum and just do what they do. And I did not like that. Now, the problem with shutting both of these, shops down is that there are games on there that are going to become extremely expensive. And it's really sad because some of these games should not be that expensive, but they're great experiences. Now, I have 3 Wii U games that basically are the only ones that, to me, I don't know, in terms of physical releases, that matter. And that is The Legend of Zelda Wind Waker HD, Twilight Princess HD, and then my favorite of the 3 so far, Xenoblade Chronicles X. Now, I don't know why I feel like Nintendo is saving these Zelda ports for the Switch's life later on, because they said they're gonna try to support it for a few more years. So we'll see how that goes. But like things like Xenoblade Chronicles X, it's already expensive. So now it's going to be jacked up into astronomical prices. I'm not a big fan of that. So that's what's unfortunate. And on the eShop, you could get Xenoblade X for, unfortunately, retail price $50-$60. But Wind Waker HD, you could get that for $20 because it became a Nintendo Select. And then the Twilight Princess HD was still 50, but still much better than the aftermarket prices, am I right? Then we have some 3DS games that I remember just going, that will probably go up in price. First, we have Fantasy Life. This is a fantastic game, and many of you already know about this. It's pretty much like a life sim, except you can do things like combat and gathering. Just there's lots of jobs you can do for an RPG. It's literally just live your own life RPG. It's fun. You can play online with friends too, but you can't get the DLC for this anymore because the shop has been shut down. Which thankfully I got the DLC for it, but thankfully Level 5 is making another game, a sequel on the Switch. So that does negate some of the need to get this version when that version is going to come out, and it's going to probably be even better. So, but we'll just see what happens with that one. Then one that could just go up in price because, it's just an RPG, and, they usually go higher prices over the years, is Dragon Quest VII, the Fragments of the Forgotten Past. Great game. I have not finished it yet, but again, you could get this on the eShop for $40. Could have gotten it. and now it's like $70, $80. It's gonna double, triple, quadruple over time. That's just how this works. That's unfortunate. And yeah, that's another game that you're just gonna have a hard time getting, and I hate that. I mean, next is, well, maybe not next. Yes, next is Tales of the Abyss. This is on the PS2, but most people like this version because it has better loading times, and then you can just take it on the go. So that's really nice. So that's going to go up in price as well because it's already going up there, but it's around the same price as the PS2 version. But with this probably not having as big of a release as the PS2 version, I could see this going up too. So yeah, there's not really that many games I can think of right off the bat that are going to go up in price. But things that are already up in price, like Game & Wario, Devil's Third, those are really going to be hard to get. Metal Gear Solid 3D, I just saw, that's like $200. I'm like, what the fuck happened? Why? Stop. I mean, I think it'd be cool if I could sell some of these games now and get a lot of money out of it, but I don't want to do that. I want to still play them at some point, and you still have some sentimental value to that. And that's why I think physical is honestly just better to this day. And it kind of sucks that companies are leaning more into the digital realm because things like this could happen where the eShops get shut down at some point in time. I know you can't expect them to support these things forever, but if Nintendo didn't make the eShop so segmented, like with communicating with each other, they could have kept it up like how Sony is with the PS3 and PS Vita, because those things can still carry over to each other, and like all that, and your PlayStation account still works from your PS3 to your Vita to your PS4 and your PS5. So still, it would have been much more beneficial if Nintendo just had that foresight to be like, all right, we need to make one eShop that we can like work upon every platform and just keep it up like that. But they want to go with the future of the Switch and how they're going to take care of that. I don't know. So we'll have to see. Uh, yeah, but in terms of the eShop experience, which is what I meant to get to, but I kind of went on another tangent. I remember scrolling that thing for hours, over not hours at a time, but just overall, like throughout its life, hours, more likely, 100, like over 100 plus, 200 plus hours, just scrolling, looking at games, thinking, oh, what do I want to get this time, or do I really want to get this, or can I wish I could get that, just looking at all the new releases, and there were some that made me go ooh, and there were some that made me go like, all right, whatever. But it had a great user interface, especially both eShops on the Wii U and 3DS had great interfaces, better than the Switch's by far. Which is sad that the 3DS is a better shop than the Switch. Oh boy, everything was like perfectly like put together in categories and all that stuff, and searching for games was very easy. Touchscreen and stuff like that, and just the amount of stuff available on there was massive, especially on the 3DS. More so 3DS, I should say, than Wii U. Wii U had a lot less stuff, which I can't imagine why. And when it came to the Wii U one, that shop was my favorite to just sit and browse at, because with the gamepad, you can control it with both sticks, going up and down, just looking at it. And you could like have the top screen have like a bunch of the shop stuff up there, but you could also have it, and it scrolls down onto the front of the gamepad, and you're like, all right, okay, it's really cool. I don't know how to explain it, and then I don't my gamepad back is so old that it can't hold the pen anymore. Lost the pen. Nice. So you could use like the touchscreen to just scroll right up through this very smoothly, very short or very slowly. It's just a very responsive screen. A lot better than the 3DS's. That was a very soft screen. This one's a very hard one, and it like holds up. It's very resilient. It's got some scratches on it, but that's nothing I could ever do with a replacement. I mean, I don't want to replace the whole front of the gamepad because Zelda, and it looks really awesome. Although it's Fingerprint Avenue, though, after you use it for a little bit. And yeah, that's all I really need to say about the eShop. I mean, I remember like throughout all the years, like they would change up how it would kind of look, at least on the Wii U, and they had different music and all that stuff. I remember the launch music. I think I tried to block it out. It was so boring and kind of bad. But eventually, they got their groove with the really good music. Uh, but unfortunately, the only way you're going to hear that now is through the power of the internet on YouTube. Unless Nintendo decides no and shut you down. But that's all I have to say, guys, about the eShop and all of its stuff. And not its history, but just kind of like my recollection on it and how this could be a problem for future shops to come. So, yeah. Anyway, my name is Alex, and I'll be seeing you next time. Farewell.